Making a cutting board. Video 2. At this point, you have glued up your boards and put them away to dry overnight. The next day, you're going to unclamp your boards, put the clamps away, and scrape up any dried glue that is formed on the top of the boards. Using a glue scraper, you don't have to be very nice. Get the big chunks off so that we don't dull the knives with solid dried glue. And then go to the surface planer. You're going to make 2 smooth faces and keep your board as thick as possible. Transitioning to the miter saw, you're going to square one end of your board. Because your board is wide, you're going to have the miter saw in slide mode. Just remember, when cutting a wide board, it's out, on, down, and back. Now get the instructor, a pencil, and set the table saw fence to 1.5 inches. The instructor is going to cross cut your board for you. You're going to orient your pieces, flipping every other one so that you get a random pattern. Once the orientation of your pieces is correct, mark them with a pencil. This is so that when we're gluing up, we don't get confused and accidentally put a board in the wrong spot. You're going to cut 4 plywood pads to protect your cutting board from the bar clamps. The pads need to be made out of scrap plywood or MDF, and they're going to be cut just a little shorter than all 4 sides. Again, make sure you have 4 scrap plywood strips that are a little shorter than all 4 sides of your cutting board. Now, clamp up your board without glue and show the instructor. Once you have put glue on all the sides that you want to adhere to each other, you're going to clamp the edge first. The 2 plywood pads are going to hold this together before we squeeze it so that the pieces don't slide out of square. 2 bar clamps on your plywood pads will do the trick. Squeeze it together so that the pieces stay in place. These 2 clamps are on temporarily. We will be taking them off here in a minute. Now that we have these clamps on and tight, tighten your primary clamps. As you tighten the clamps, make sure your pieces stay flat onto the bars. With everything tight and secure, take off the first clamps, holding the pieces onto the sides. We don't want to glue those plywood strips onto the 2 ends of our board. Clean up all the glue with your wet rag and put it away to dry overnight. This concludes video 2 of making a cutting board. Let's get in the shop and let's get back to building.